Hey guys, what's up? It is a ridiculously hot day in Melbourne. Having a really bad time. Anyway, today we're going to be looking at Play With Me by Extreme. Let's take a look. Before we get too excited, we just got to keep in mind that for this song, Extreme are in E flat, which is E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and E flat. So get yourself in tune, and we'll get started. Alright, let's have a look at this silly Vivaldi-esque section at the start. What I want to do is just get the notes, just as the boring fretted notes, and then we'll deal with the open notes in between. So what we're going to do is just this. So what I'm doing here from the first string is I'm going 5, 7, 8, 10, and then I go 8, 7, 5, 4. Now in between every single change when I'm going from 5 to 7, I'm going to do 2 open notes. So every single note that we had that was fretted is going to have 2 open notes on the first string. Now with the same kind of principle, let's look at the second little chunk here. So this one goes 5, 7, 8, 7. But then after that I go 5, 4, 5, 7. So all together from the start. Okay, then the next one, we're going to do the just the fretted notes and then add the opens in between. We're going to go 12, 10, 8, 7. And then I go 10, 8, 7, 5. But when I get to the 5, I just stop this, so there's no open notes there. So I'll play this one a bit slower. And it goes into that cheeky little bit there. So let's do the whole thing thus far and then we'll deal with the end. Okay, then the end goes, I go from 5 of the first string, then I do a quick little apple pie thing here, apple pie. So I got, 2 kind of semi-quavers and a quaver there. So I go from 5 of the first string, that little apple pie rhythm there, and then I go 6, 5 on the second. Then at the end of that I play 9, 10. Alright, let's try the whole section again from the start a little slower. Okay, let's have a look at the second section. I want to start with a pull off from 9 to 7 on the third string. And then I hammer back into 9. So I go 9, 7, 9, adds a pull off into a hammer. And then I want to go from 6 of the second string to 9 of the third, back to 6 of the second. All together. This is all very triplety. Pineapple, 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 so on kind of triplet feel. Then after that, I do a pull off from 9 to 6 on the second string. And then I go to 9 of the third. And at the end of that, I do 6 of the second and then a pull off from 9 to 7 to finish, so to go. So altogether we should have 4 triplets. Altogether. We want to do that exact same thing twice. Okay, and I do roughly the same idea with what would be a B major arpeggio. Let's slow that down. My initial pull-offy thing is going to go 9, 6, 9 on the third string. And I play 5 of the first and then 9 of the third. And back to 5 of the first. Okay, then after that I do a pull-off from 9 to 5 on the first string and then go to 9 of the third string. So 9 to 5 of the first and then 9 of the third. After that, jumping back down to the 5 of the first string and then doing a pull-off from 9 to 6 on the third. So all together. Okay, then a very, very similar idea rhythm-wise and shape-wise. We're just going to be doing a diminished idea from 12 of the third string. So I go from 12 to 9, I pull off into a hammer, then I go to 9 of the first string, and then to 12 of the third, and then back down to 9 of the first. Okay, and then I start from 12, so you can hammer into all of these when you get to the first string. So I've gone from that, as soon as I hit the 9 again, I want to hammer to 12, and do a pull off from 12 to 9, and then play 12 of the third string. And then jump back down to 9 of the first, and then do a pull off from 12 to 9 on the third. So it'll go. So from the start. Hopefully that makes sense. Now we've got, sorry, that was an A at the start. This will be a B minor now. So what I've got here is a pull off from 11 to 7. So it's going 11, 7, 11, and then I'm doing 7 of the first string to 11 of the third, back to 7 of the first. And then I hammer from that to 10, and then I pull off from 10 to 7, and then play 11 of the third string, so I go. Okay, and then the last bit goes, so 7 of the first, and then a pull off from 11 to 7 on the third string. Okay, and then it goes from that B minor to the B major. So what I'm doing here is just altering the shape slightly. It's going to go 11, 8, 11 on the third, then 7 of the first, 11 of the third to 7 of the first. Okay, then I hammer to 11, pull off to 7, and then play 11 of the third. And then to finish it, I play 7 of the first, and then pull off from 11 to 8. So it'll go. So let's play the B minor into the B major. Okay, and then after that it does this like silly squealy riff thing. So I'm just playing an open note and then squealing 9 of the third string. And then I do the same thing on 7, 6, 5 and 4. Very silly. So let's take it from the start of the section a little slower. So the third group, we're going to see some themes that were very similar in the second group shape-wise. It's just we're going to be doing a little bit more picking, a bit more sort of shreddy stuff. So I'll show you the first bit and then we'll work through it together. So what I'm doing at the start of that, similarly to what we had in the second section, I'm going to do a hammer on from 7 to 9 on the third string. And then what I do there is I play 6, 10, 6 on the second string. And then I play 9 of the third to finish that, sort of go. And then after that I play it again, but I don't hammer on the 7 to 9, I want to play all of those notes. So we're going to start off with a hammer on at the start of that group. But when I repeat it, I'm going to pick all the notes, and the second time we're going to end on 7 of the third string, sort of go. Okay? So that's the general idea, and then we do it again, but the second time, instead of ending on 7, I'm going to end on 6. So I'll show you the second group now. So all together thus far. You notice I put a slight break in between. Okay. Silly me in the second section, I mentioned this as a B major. I meant an A major arpeggio. And we do a similar idea shape-wise than what we had in the second section. And I'm going to do a hammer on from 6 to 9 on the third string. And then what I do here is a very similar sort of picking idea that we just had. So I've got the 6 to 9 hammer on the third string. And then I want to play 5, 9, 5 on the first. And then play, what was that? 9 of the third string, sort of go. And I do roughly that same idea again, but pick all the notes. Just on the second time, I want to resolve it to 6 of the third string. So we're going to start off with that hammer, pick all the notes and then sort of do it again and then add that final note. Sort of go. So the whole thing thus far. Okay, then we do the same thing in that diminished shape that we had at the start of section 2 rather. So what I got here is a hammer on from 9 to 12 on the 3rd string, and then I play 9, 12, 9 on the 1st, and then play 12 of the 3rd, and then repeat that exact same idea but pick all the notes. And like what we have in the other sections, we're just going to add that final pointer finger note, and that's going to be on 9 of the 3rd string. So this diminished idea. Alright, from the start one more time. Okay, then we do the B minor shape here. Now this one changes halfway. It kind of gets back into sort of a cheerier kind of triplety jolly feel. So I go. So that first one's going to be exactly the same as what we had before. What I've got is a hammer on from 7 to 11, and then we're picking all the notes like we've just done in the previous phrases. What I'm doing is the 7 to 11 hammer, and then playing 7, 10, 7 on the 1st string, and then 11 of the 3rd string. And then after that, we get that bounce back. So there's a lot more hammers and we're trying to get that jolly bounce feel. So on that second time, 7 to 11 is a hammer on. Then I play 7 of the 1st string and then do a pull off from 10 to 7. And then land on 11 of the 3rd string. So I guess what's different about this one is that we're not going trying to get back to that pointer finger, and it's a little bit slower and bouncy. So I'll play that all again. And it slows down significantly when that feel changes. And then the last B major, so we've just done the B minor. When we get to the B major, that's cheery all the way through. So I've got a hammer on from 8 to 9, and then just working through that B major. Then hitting 7 of the 1st string, then doing a pull off from 11 to 7, and then ending on 11 of the 3rd. And that's exactly the same thing twice with that jolly major feel. Alright, that's pretty much the whole section. We'll do the B minor to the B major, and then we'll put the whole thing together. Alright, let's take it from the start of this 3rd section. Alright, we're going to look at this last section now. We're going to be working through an E major arpeggio, starting from the 1st inversion. So we're not starting from the root note, so it's sort of an E major if we're in standard tuning. I'm doing a hammer on from 11 to 14 on the 5th, and hitting 14 of the 3rd, and then going down a very obvious major shape from the 3rd string. I'm playing 13 of the 3rd, and then 12 of the 1st too. So let's do that all again a little slower. Okay, then as soon as I get to the 12 of the 1st, I do a hammer on into a pull off, which is 12, 16, 12. Then after that, I'm going 16, 13, 16 on the 3rd string, so I do the pull off into a hammer, and then jump back down to 12 of the 1st. So I go. Then after that, I go into, let's try putting that all together a little bit slower. Okay, and then after that, I slide in from 16 to 19, and I work up this sort of major arpeggio. So starting from 19 of the 1st string, I'm going to do a pull off from 19 to 16, then 17 of the 2nd to 16 of the 1st, then after that building up the arpeggio, which is 17 of the 2nd and 16 of the 3rd. Then I go, so let's add that in. It's going to go 17 of the 2nd and then 16, 13 on the 3rd string. It does feel weird, but I'm doing 2 notes with my pointer and I pick both of them. After that, I'm playing, 16 to 13 on the 3rd and then 14 of the 4th. So let's go from the slide now and put that higher E major arpeggio together. And then it goes. So what do we have? The next one starts from 13 of the 3rd string, and it goes. So So what am I doing there? 13 of the third, 14 of the fourth, and 14 of the fifth. And then after that, I'm playing 14 of the fourth, 14 of the fifth, and then ending on 11 of the third. So we'll try it from just this point here. So I think we've got 3 groups of 6 here. Okay, and then the last one goes. So what I've got here is going from 14 to 11 on the 5th, and then 12 of the 6th, and then I jump back down to 11 of the 5th and 12 of the 6th again, so it goes. At the end of that, I'll do 2 of that E note, and if you're not cool like me, you can do a slide, but if you have the ability to whammy, do a dive bomb on that low E, that'll sound rather delicious. So, alright, all together from that high arpeggio. Sounds quite predictable slow. So let's add that other sweep in front of it, and then that's the whole thing. And that's the Play With Me solo. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. I'll catch you real soon.